Hey guys, how y'all doing? BionicleSaurus here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Favorite Co. Series 2 Feathered Tyrannosaurus. You know, it may just be time to accept that the intros I have planned for reviews just never pan out. Let's just talk about accuracy, like, right out of the gate. So as far as, like, the overall proportions and pose and all the general anatomy is concerned, there's really nothing bad to speak of. Can't say I have any major complaints here. Maybe the tail is a little too bendy, but this still seems relatively achievable. One complaint I do have is the head sculpt. Okay, let me just zoom in here. It's super boxy. That's the best word to describe the way this whole head looks. The head sculpt, it's just so bulky and kind of compressed and stout. It's just not quite right. If you look at an actual Tyrannosaurus skull, it's not nearly this boxy. As far as the binocular vision is concerned, they did get that actually quite good. Look at that! Look, he's staring right into your souls. Still, though, the jawline is also kind of weird. Like, the jawline is a little bit straight. Like, generally from a profile, you should have sort of a shallow swoop and then sort of a big sort of jutting out point here at the sort of the back upper cheekbone sort of area. And yeah, the jawline is a little bit too much of just a straight line, if you ask me. As long as we're up close on the figure like this, we may as well talk a little bit about detail. The detail on this is nothing special. It's about what you would expect from Favorite Co. Some of the sculpting is genuinely really bad. Like, look at what happened with the teeth getting up to, like, the front of the upper jaw. But, like, it becomes, like, at first it's like, okay, there's teeth, and then it's just sort of a big, like, slit of plastic. Just not even individual teeth anymore. The bottom jaw is better, but not perfect. In general, I think there's just maybe some excess plastic stuff going on. Yeah, you can see the teeth and just kind of the very tip of the jaw there is really kind of messed up. The paint work also doesn't help. I'll just talk about paint right now as well, as long as we're here. There's a lot of pink on the teeth and some green coming down onto the gums up here and whatnot. I mean, Favorite Co.'s paint jobs are always, you know, pretty simplistic, but usually they're at least well done for what they are. But this is kind of a big muddled disaster up on the face area, unfortunately. As far as the texturing on the integument for the rest of the body, the feathers are pretty well sculpted. Very shaggy proto-feather look going on. Nothing pugnacious or derived. Very, very good for as far as we know. That's exactly how it should be. As for the scales are kind of individually sculpted in certain spots. They're very bumpy looking and sort of just like They appear as though they've been done not with individual sculpting, but more with like a textured tool being pressed along the skin, some sort of brush or odd little grate tool or something. I don't know. They're not super crisp, not super well sculpted all over. Some areas get pretty smooth, some areas rely more on wrinkles. It's not perfect. It's not bad, but it could use some improvement, that's for sure. Getting back to accuracy, since we didn't quite finish there, integument. Integument is important. We gotta talk about accuracy and feathers. Yeah, there shouldn't be feathers along the tail. And there should probably be more feathers along, like, the upper neck and especially on the torso and arms and stuff. As far as the paint job is concerned, it's, you know, by overall standards, not great, but by Favorite Co. standards, it's quite surprisingly good. All of the color choices are very subtle. They haven't gone for any, you know, super bright, just like, hey, here's a straight up neon rainbow looking thing, you know, nothing like that. This is actually all very nice, very subdued, pleasing to the eye, sort of dark shades of green. We have this sort of kind of yellowish olive green kind of color on the underside, and then for most of it we have this very rich green, and then this super dark like forest green over the back, and then some kind of brownish greenish gray sort of feathers. Overall, this is one of the nicer looking Favorite Co. color schemes out there. As far as functionality is concerned, I mean, here's the base. It's nothing remarkable. Got some little footprints with some little cylindrical pegs. The feet have corresponding peg holes, and as far as how it actually attaches, well, it attaches perfectly, solidly, and fine. The feet do end up with this unfortunate, like, kind of thick layer of extra padding on the bottom of the toes. You can especially see it there, I guess because they sink into the footprints a lot, but It's kind of unfortunate just from a visual standpoint. Now, normally this thing works fine, stands up very well when on the base, of course, and sometimes you can even get it to kind of stand without the base. Yeah, see, there you go. However, what will happen eventually, and this is the one problem, is that his feet will stay perfectly flat, attached into the corresponding footprints in the base and all that, but the legs will actually not really be able to hold up all of this weight over time. It takes a while, but eventually this thing starts warping and leaning really far forward. Now, it's not too bad to maintain through periodic bending under hot water, but still just, you know, beware. That is something that you need to think about. Honestly, if I were you, and this is what I'm doing now that I've learned this lesson, I'm actually just leaving this guy on his side or leaned up against another figure or something like that so he doesn't actually have to support his own weight. Real quick, I am going to bring in a boatload of size comparisons. Let's start out with our usual, the BionicleSaurus. Now I'm going to bring in, it's time for the T-Rex convention of the century. We got the Papo running T-Rex, and then we have another one that dwarfs him, which is the Collecta Deluxe, and we'll just leave him back there in the shadows. We got the Safari Limited 2017, we've got the Carnegie 1998, I'm banging it into the light, and we've got the Collecta Hunting, which is of course a super awesome freaking dude, and finally I would like to bring in the Favorite Co. Series 1 T-Rex. This is a new acquisition to the collection, and I'm really excited to talk about it as well. So there you go, in case you were curious about his size and felt the need for that amount of references. So my final rating for the Favorite Co. Series 2 Feathered Tyrannosaurus Rex is an 8 out of 10. This is that type of figure where it's like, you don't need to seek it out, but if you happen to see it and you have the money, frickin' get it, because it's real neat. Thank you for watching, and BionicleSaurus signing out.